Lovely music. Lovely music. Let me go turn it down. I didn't think I was going to have time to do this. I stream these things during my lunch break if I have time for it. Okay, so baby tossing and Georgia voter ID. That's what we're talking about here. How do you feel about the ever so secure border? Oh, they're just coming. They're coming over because Biden's such a well-respected man. He's just so nice, so kind, so generous. That's what they'll say. That's what Biden says. That the reason why we have this border crisis is because Biden's such a nice, upstanding guy. He's so kind. Imagine that sort of angle, right? Come on, man. Get thousands upon thousands coming across. You got detention centers filled out to the max. They can't cram another body in those things. You have all these kids from the wall to the wall, wrapped up like Chipotle burritos. And then when that's max capacity, way beyond max capacity, they start putting them underneath the overpass. Like, what's going on there, man? In little fencing setups that look like something for livestock. Maybe that's maybe that's a slip, a Freudian slip in some way. How the Biden administration looks at these people as livestock, as walking voters, walking potential voters. They'll vote to keep their benefits. See, I know Sleazy Martini says, "Hey, you know they're walking potential Republican voters." Well, when it comes to religion, when it comes to abortion rights, you're right. But the hand that feeds is the one that's going to get it, man. The Democrats are the ones that are supplying the generous, ever so generous benefits to those that aren't even citizens. Then that's what they're going to vote for. Essentially, they're buying vote. They're buying votes is what they're doing. But you know, that's not a problem, right? And they don't even have to be legal citizens because the Democrats don't even want you to have an ID, to be required to have an ID to prove that you are who you are. That's what the whole Georgia voter bill thing is. The only reason why they're saying it's racist is because they require that you have to have an ID to vote. The Georgia voting bill allows for early voting. You could do remote absentee ballots too. You could do all that. You just have to have an ID. How's it going, Nordic? How's it going? And because they require an ID, all of a sudden it's racist. It's not racist to require black people to have an ID to drive, or is that something that's going to change? Is it now racist to require brothers to have an ID, a valid driver's license, in order to drive? It don't fucking matter. Shit. Two sisters could get into a car with some Asian man, run it over, have it knocked over, and the news won't even talk about it. You need an ID to drive, you need an ID to buy guns. But you don't need an ID to vote. Imagine that. Imagine that. Why would a particular party want to make it so easy, hypothetically, to duplicate votes? If you don't need an ID to vote, then there's no requirement for you to prove who you are. You could walk up to the booth, vote, get back in line again, and they'd be like, who are you? Okay, and now I'm Thomas now. Change your name up. Be like, no, you came in last time. No, that was my twin. I think you're mistaken. Maybe the heat got to you. Maybe you're suffering from a heat stroke or something because, no, you're mistaken. Shit. At those voting places, they're probably not even going to give a shit. They're probably not even going to care. I wouldn't be surprised if they hand each person like 5 ballots. Go fill them out. I mean, the sort of people that are okay with just like no ID required to vote are the ones that are just not really thinking about what that means and how far it can go. Or they know how far it can go, what it leads to, and they just don't care. I mean, how do you feel about it? I'm sure you do care. If you're watching this, I'm sure you do. We're just talk about integrity in the election and any future election. That's what voter ID gives you. Being able to prove that you are who you say you are when you vote. And that way, you can't duplicate it because, hey, you already voted once, pal. But yet, the media, when I say mainstream media, you know what I'm talking about. CNN, MSNBC, those guys, they are running this. They want it. They're, the Georgia voting bill is racist. Okay. They want this. They want it so easy. The Democrats want it so easy. The thing that's baffling to me is that to get their way, to try to put pressure on Georgia to change that bill, which I hope they just do not do it. To hold the line, Georgia. Hold the line. Keep strong. But in order to put pressure on them, the government the Democrats are going through corporations, corporate influence. The government in charge working with corporate powers in an authoritative way to apply pressure to get a certain bill passed. What is that? There's a word. It's almost like it's fascism. It's almost like, that can't be. I mean, obviously the left was saying Donald Trump, the Republicans are fascists. And some will tell you that the left can't be fascist because fascist is a right-wing thing. Oh. So if the red tie runs the government using corporate influence to achieve some sort of laws and authoritative control, then that's fascism. But if the blue tie does it, it's not fascism. It doesn't make any sense. Get the MLB trying to apply pressure. Coca-Cola trying to apply pressure. Not buying a fucking Coke. Tell you that much. Coke and Sprite. You know what? My wife thought I was joking when I told our kids that this is not a Sprite household. It's a 7-Up household. I don't want to see Sprite in the fridge. I don't want to see Sprite anywhere. In fact, there's a Sprite over there we had for an Easter party. I'm going to dump that shit out. 7-Up only, man. That's it. But that's cancel culture. In a way it is, yeah. It's a boycott, isn't it? Because companies should just stay in their fucking lane. Stay in their goddamn fucking lane. When you got corporations trying to apply pressure to certain states, lawmakers, stay in your fucking lane. Especially when the same companies will have no problems with using free slave labor from China. But, whatever. Nordic has never been asked for an ID here in the UK to vote. Shut is dangerous. Right, which is probably why maybe that might explain why you're getting a bunch of interesting politicians. Like, who's the NP for let's see. Count Dankler was talking about this guy for Scotland. The NP for Scotland. He's not even Scottish. Not really Scottish. Not Scottish blood. He's Pakistan blood. How did he get in there? How did he get in there? I don't really think a lot of Scots are voting for him. I think a lot of new Scots that just came in voted for him. I don't know. Seems weird to me. But that's dangerous talk. Man, we're living in a freaking clown world now, you know. We have been for a while. The voter ID is racist. Throwing babies over the border, that's just fine. That's just because Biden's just a nice guy. Totally humane. I mean, we're talking, they're dropped like 8 feet. That 8-month-old probably 8-month-old probably broke his legs or some shit. I don't know. You drop a toddler over the border wall. How is it supposed to get to the one of the centers? It's gonna be eaten by a rattlesnake or some shit. USA isn't exactly run by Americans either. No shit, Sherlock. No shit. Mom's ravioli. We got some traitors in the mix. It's everywhere. I'm with you, Mom's ravioli. It's also in state elections too. It's also in state government, local government. Look at Seattle. They have like some commies in there, some so like diehard Marxist bullshit in there. They're like from India. Yeah, no, you can get rid of her. You got, and the Americans you do have in there are influenced, and it is dangerous talk, but it's true, are influenced by foreign powers. Either influenced by foreign powers or corporate powers. What the plebs want don't fucking matter. But they'll lie to you, and the plebs will continue to get on their knees and beg for it or thank them. I mean, look at the left. They appear to be eating up what Biden's saying, what the media's saying with praise. Just look at the border crisis. Oh, they say it's not a crisis. You're right, it's not a crisis. It's because Biden's nice. We're not even looking at this. Not even talking about it. Oh, AOC said if you caught a surge, it's you're being a white nationalist, a white supremacist. So let's not call it a surge. When AOC is a fucking hypocrite. She's just like every other fucking politician there. She don't care about the people. She's not even a Marxist. She cares about her power. She cares about her power. She knows she can't question Biden or Nancy. She knows she has to toe the line. Otherwise she has to go back to serving at the bar, which would suck for her because I hear she can't even do a rum and coke. That's easy. One of the easiest things you can make. Or they need the illegals if they just print and cheat in elections? Think it's for a nefarious purpose, ET? Oh, we talked about it on the previous stream. Now, there's something to it I think is here. Biden is a self-hating white guy who wants to be bred out. That is true. I know this area of talking is crazy, but it's literally what he said. He has no problem with the white people becoming like a minority, okay? We're in a race thing. Let's not get all crazy about it. I'm just saying this is what he's talking about, okay? There's that. He wants to be bred out. He wants the whites in America to be bred out. You do with that what you will. The other thing is, Biden's new big deal plan, whatever, is going to require a lot of people, a lot of free, cheap labor to work on those bridges, work on those roads and buildings. It's going to require a shit ton of money, but don't worry about that. The printer's still working for now. But getting the labor is going to be the tricky part, because none of these fucking millennials, at least not the ones I've seen, not the ones are throwing Molotov cocktails at cop cars and twerking in the street. The ones that are firebombing federal buildings, they're not the ones that are going to actually do any labor, any hard work. No. But, dude, man, a lot of college kids don't even know how to change a fucking tire. They don't even know how to change the batteries in their freaking remote. I'm not even making this up. They wouldn't even know how to use a screwdriver, an electric screwdriver. They would be confused. So I think two things. He wants to be bred out. He wants white people to be bred out. And he also wants the cheap free labor. Where there's a problem with the plan, because it's not going smoothly. The media keeps on talking about the border crisis, which I like that. I like the media has not let up on that. At least some outlets anyway. Don't. Apply the pressure. I say it's messed up that they're not going hard on Biden like they did with Trump, which is funny because Trump is using the same facilities that Obama built. And because Trump was deporting as many, although not as much as Obama, and that's a true fact, Obama deported more than Trump. Obama deported more illegals than Trump. Oh, but it was because Trump ripped babies out of the arms of illegal mothers. So, I don't give two shits about that. If you cross the country illegally with your baby in your arms, thinking you can use it as a tool to get in, you're a fucked up parent. And you're going to tell me seriously, you're going to tell me they walked through all these countries to get here? I mean, I think they took a bus. I think they took a couple of buses. And they could have stayed in Honduras. Honduras isn't like some shithole necessarily. It has problems. I wouldn't want to live there. But we give them federal aid. We give them money to help fix their problems and address shit. But if the people of Honduras want to come to America seeking asylum because America is better and offers generous, very generous benefits, then maybe cut the federal aid to Honduras. Or maybe we just say, no, don't let them in, because that would be a surge. That would be a sort of like soft invasion. That's what that is. You got a bunch of people flooding the border for what? Because they want to take your resources. Mom's Ravioli says, but Biden's not exactly in charge. Exactly. When I was saying Biden, I didn't mean literally Biden. That's the thing we got to realize here. When anyone talks about Biden, none of us really mean Biden. We mean the people behind Biden. The cabal, which could be just a bunch of businessmen. Probably a bunch of bankers. Maybe some old oil guys. You know, certain oil companies are going to make a lot more money with now that oil prices are going up. They like that. They like that. Getting that nice oil from Canada, that was dropping the price. No bueno. Not good. These guys want to make more money. They don't care. They don't care about you. And these same companies don't necessarily care about electric cars either because their money is in oil. They want to make more money in oil. If everyone goes to electric cars, well, then you got to change things. And it's going to be a damper. But, and about the baby thing, about the babies being tossed over the wall. Now, people on the left will say that, oh, if we had open borders, this wouldn't happen. If we just let people come and not have border security at all, anybody can come across, no vetting, nothing. You just walk across like it's freely or whatever. Yeah, you wouldn't have them throwing babies over the wall, but you would have anyone and everyone walking through. Like, you have no idea who these people are or what their intentions are. Oh, man. What they'll be doing is just walking in babies, walking in kids. Kids are probably not even theirs because that's what's happening now. They're doing the same thing now, except they're trying to be weird about it because they have to, because there's some security there. Take out the security. Oh, they'll just walk on freely by, but you'll still have girls are being raped as they're going across, sexually assaulted by these coyotes and cartels, which are not good people. And yes, if you did open the borders, the coyotes, the cartels, they would still be involved in the transportation or the aid of getting across because they know the way. And because they're going to require it. You think the cartels are just going to let people walk across freely? Fuck no. They want their money. And they want their pussy. They want that pink money. They want that money machine. Sorry to be vulgar because I'm talking about kids now and thinking about it. Fuck. I didn't like what I said, the way I said it. But the left, I don't think they care. I don't think they care about these kids. How about the side that's pro-abortion, anti-life? Fuck that shit. A baby gets thrown over the wall by a cartel? That's just late term abortion there. That's what that is. Eaten by a rattlesnake? Kumbaya. Circle of Life. Is it Kumbaya? Huna Makata. Is that it? I don't even. I guess I have not been watching Disney with my kids. Couldn't even tell you. I don't think they care about the kids. I don't even think they care about the 14-year-old, 15-year-old girls that get groomed. They know where they're going to go to. They know where their destination is going to be. Because they've already been talked to by that person. They've already been kind of groomed. And they probably, and that, I'll guarantee you, those 14, 15-year-olds, they select few, the ones that some people are really interested in, they probably made it through just fine. Because they probably have a sponsor. They probably have a process to expedite or get around certain people. And you're going to see them pop up in some of those porn videos. You watch. Those webcam videos where you wonder, how old is that girl? Yeah, there's a reason why you're asking that. Because those girls look really young. And they probably are. And be like, hyperbole, where's the evidence for that? I mean, evidence of the fact that Pornhub purchased probably over 1 million videos because of could have had kids in it. A lot of those videos were webcam videos where there's what's the vetting process for that? You need an ID. All right, anybody can put up an ID. You get fake IDs. live in crazy world, man. Clown world. Nothing makes sense anymore, you know? Nothing makes sense. It's like people just don't care. Oh, we should just open those facilities, let all those kids in. Let them in where? Those foster homes are for American kids that have shitty families that need a place to stay. We really don't need those foster homes flooded with a bunch of illegal kids. People are thinking with their heart on that. But without caring about the fact that those resources used on illegal kids, illegal aliens, guess what? That's a resource that's no longer available to a kid that's here in the States that could use some help. Oh, we could find a way. We could find a way. Are you kidding me? We're struggling to find a way now. No, we're not going to find a way. We can't take care of everyone. We went from being America, the world police, to America, the world's mother. Worse, the world's grandmother. Grandparents are like the worst when it comes to spoiling the kids, giving them everything they want, and then sending them back to the parents all hyped up on sugar, bedtimes, whatever they say, no rules. It's like, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. We're the world's mom. How do you feel about that? I need a new lighter. This thing, busted. I broke it. Trying to bash it to fix it. Apparently, I bashed it a little too hard. So I'm going to do a GoFundMe for a lighter because my ass is too cheap to buy a new lighter. No. That'd be sad. Why we need economic collapse? Well, it's going to happen. What it does? You better be ready. See, we are entering a collapse of America. That is for sure. America's going to fall much like every other kingdom before. Every other empire. Spanish Empire. Rome. It's going to fall. It's going to collapse. It's very bloated. Cannot sustain. Is printing out money en masse for COVID relief, for past grievances that ancestors have done to ancestors. Yeah, we're not going to sustain. Doomer, and no, it's doom and gloom, but it's the reality. Every empire falls. Now, is there a chance we could bounce out of this? We'll see. We'll see what happens when the New World War happens. Or we're facing China and Russia at the same time. Because that shit is very real. I know people say, oh no, there's not going to be a new war. It's been, 80 years since, right? Since a real war. Going to Iraq and Afghanistan, that wasn't even a fucking war. We tore through that shit. I mean, I'm not belittling what our soldiers went through. They saw some shit. They probably did some shit. But it wasn't no fucking world war. You got China getting ready. Oh, pay very close attention to them if you have not been following up. They're very testy with the borders. In fact, if you look at China, what they're doing, it is very similar to what the Germans did before World War II. A strong boast of nationalism. A very strong sense of nationalism. China authority, China testing the boundaries, getting more territory, making islands, artificial islands to expand its territory, claim dominance over the sea in the region, testing the border with India, testing the border, the Philippines, and Vietnam. Meanwhile, having a re-education camps, facilities for those of a minority. Oh, it's not a genocide. We just would have used them for free labor and to harvest their organs. It's going to come. It's going to happen. First, it's going to be Taiwan. And we'll see what happens. Taiwan's going to be like the Poland. How Poland was. China's going to invade Taiwan. And the test is going to be, what is the U.S. going to do about it, if anything? And I'm pretty sure this is going to happen this year or next year. If I'm wrong on that, I'm pretty confident in it. If I'm wrong on that, I'll fucking deep throat a dildo on a live stream. Okay, China, you got 2 years to make it happen. Invade Taiwan within 2 years. All right, deep throat a fucking dildo on camera. I'm pretty confident in it. I think it's gonna happen. But no, yeah, it's doom and gloom stuff what I'm talking about. I'm not going to slip my wrists over here and drown my kids in the tub like Andrew Yates or whatever. No, I'm going to live my life the best I can. Make sure that I provide the best that I can. And, got to probably stock up on resources like non-perishable foods, plenty of water. I don't even have a fucking generator. Now, the thing is, like, those artificial islands are out. Well, I said before in the previous stream that the silver lining is that they're crumbling because they're made by China. And China, as you know, I mean, they do make things very fast. And they do kind of have a tendency to cut corners. Okay. So, yeah, some of those islands are starting to crumble. But they could just patch that shit up. They just patch it up. Pour more concrete. Perspicity. Yeah, you can hold me to that. Hold me to it. I'll hold myself to it. Don't worry. Mom's ravioli will hold me to it as well. I don't have a hug box over here. I have Mom's ravioli call me a boomer every once in a while if I don't go too hard on certain political talks, you know. It's and I got E.T. Templar, who's like disavow whenever I go too far on, like, let's say Satanist shit or whatever. I'm not a Satanist, but I like horror movies and I publish horror books. Okay. If I'm going to have a horror anthology themed Satan made me do it, I'm going to go all the way fucking crazy teenage edgelord shit with that stuff. Really, the test of whether or not America could bounce back will be these future conflicts that are going to come. Because we're so distracted with silly things. And when I say silly things, I'm not just talking about like offensive Dr. Seuss books or whatever. I'm talking like even in the military, where if you use the word fag in the military, they get the whole platoon to stop what they're doing, and then they have to pretty much do a stress test or whatever. Get that one guy to realize that saying that slur is no good. He might get kicked out. I mean, I get it's a slur, but not everybody uses it like that. I mean, and also, if you're in an occupation where people are going to shoot at you, especially on the battlefield, then maybe you could let certain words slide. Because, I don't know. I remember back when I used to play a lot of Xbox competitive games. I mean, you tend to say things, you know. There's a whole bunch of gamer words. You know what you say. We're ready for the Iran civil war? That'd be interesting. Yeah, you got the U.S. military purging anyone who's not politically correct. You got them lowering the bar for the training. Who could qualify and all that. Mental illness is no longer a bar to prevent you from joining the armed service, which is interesting because if you're mentally ill, maybe you shouldn't be near a loaded gun. I mean, isn't that a thing that people worry about? Mental illnesses and guns, that's a problem. Oh, you are mentally ill, you have chronic depression, but you want to join the military? Here's your gun. Have fun. We're going to have soldiers out there that when the enemy comes, they might turn the guns on themselves. They might shoot themselves. But at the same time, we have soldiers out there that might go into berserk rage if the enemy misgenders them. That would be interesting to watch. So how do you guys feel about the stuff I've talked about so far? Babies being thrown over the border wall, the border crisis thing, the Georgia ID voter requirement. I like how they're saying that's racist. That's the go-to, right? If they don't like something, they want something to change or whatever, they just call it racist. That's the Harry Potter magic spell. Nobody wants to be called a racist until the word loses meaning. I was like, okay, well, I guess just give me that label, give me that badge, and I'll move on. I mean, there's even black people that see the hypocrisy of this shit. But I guess they're racist too. If you're a minority and you understand that voter ID is important, then you're a racist too. There's other countries across the globe, in poor regions of the world, that require voter ID. But I guess they're racist too. Send the trannies against the Taliban. They're beautiful women with a feminine beard and hulking physique. Yes, that would be great. Send the furries and the trannies against the Taliban. Send them to Iran, okay? Send them to Syria. And if if they fail their mission, well, we succeeded with ours. Oh, that's a little mean, dead man. I got a few friends that are trans. You know, it is what it is. Hey, if they understand that I'm not, like, I wouldn't promote what they do, but they're an adult, they made their decision for themselves, whatever, that's fine. But I'm not going to promote what they do. Now, the ones that are like fucking crazy about pronouns and all that nonsense, that's just stupid. And then what you had on CNN, that there's no consensus about assigning gender at birth. What the fuck are they talking about? No census. There's been a census since the dawn of fucking time about assigning gender at birth. What's between the legs, motherfucker? That's it. Oh, but there's 27,000 genders. No, there fucking ain't. 2. That's it. But gender's just a social construct. Really. Just a social construct. So there aren't some like inherent traits that women have and that men have that seem to go along with what's between their legs. So what they do is, well, most of us see a trend, and we see that most of these things fit a category and a label because they follow a certain trend, they follow a certain pattern. They look at the outliers. See, there are exceptions that, they're just exceptions to the rule. Okay, they're outliers. It is what it is. But the argument against that is that no, those exceptions prove that classification, that label, is flawed and is incorrect. It needs to be broken down and destroyed. It actually works just fine. Sometimes there's exceptions to the rule, okay? Sometimes there's birth defects. What you're saying? What you say it's a birth defect? Oh man, I'm not saying. I'm saying sometimes the brain gets wired slightly different. But doesn't necessarily mean that the category or the label is incorrect or anything. In fact, it's working just fine. What would the true mottos be? I like that. Sig semper dilate. Yeah. That's about all, guys. I think that's about all. Tonight, I'll do a cringe stream tonight when I know there won't be any distractions and I can go for a lot longer. I will put a post on YouTube. If you make me cringe, gotta change the Discord name. Eventually, I'm supposed to eat a hot pepper. I gotta order those peppers. Fucking A. I'm so slow on that. Might be slowing down on purpose. Man, I ate so much shit this weekend. I had like indigestion for like 2 days straight. I was constantly shitting. TMI, right? Constantly shitting. Every other hour. And we're talking like full bowls of shit. Just dumped. Will we tell you more about my shit? So bad that spray stuff that he put in the toilet bowl, whatever, the smell good shit, wasn't working. Was not working. Anyway, I'll wrap up the stream here. You guys take it easy. Have a good one.